welcome back to the High Speed Garage. Thanks to Contrast Printing for keeping this garage open. How we going today, boys? What we get up to this week?
There you go.
Good afternoon, lads. Rightio. I didn't get up to a whole heap of socialising. Most of my stuff was just work shit. Did another hitch plumb up. This one was a pretty cool one. These ones, they're called emulated, so you can emulate the foot pedal on your floor because it's run through the hammer circuit. You can run it through the computer. That's the way they operate the hydraulic pressure down to the machine, to the hitch. So you actually put a valve underneath the cabin, and you can actually control everything through the computer. That was pretty cool. Apart from
that easy?
Oh, I've done it enough times. I'm confident to do it.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, to just make sure you're doing it right.
Nice clean machine.
Oh, it was beautiful. Today I was working on. Oh, yesterday I was doing that. Brand new machine in a clean workshop, crawling around. No mud, no nothing. Then today I'm working out in the mud and crawling around. And,
back to our West Track days.
Yeah, back to the real life.
I used to like building the new machines at West Track because they're brand spanking new. You get the machine off the ship, it's brand new. It's not loaded with grease and oil and all the crap that it gets after, shitloads of punishment. And all we do is just mod it and send it out to the mines. The rebuild section, I was not jealous of those blokes.
No, it's
that would
not
be
clean.
Painful rebuild and all that.
It's not nice.
You'd be so dirty. It's not funny.
I'll be honest with you, as a hydraulic bloke, I'd much prefer someone to not grease their machine so I don't have to deal with all the grease and shit.
Yeah.
You've got to grab a big pile of rags and chuck it over every pin.
Yeah. So dress yourself up in a sperm suit.
Move your arm around, you bloody just wipe all the grease all down your arm. And, that's lovely. I'm
glad it's not me.
No, I love doing it. I don't know why, but I couldn't work in a workshop full time. I reckon that'd be crap. I've never liked being in a workshop, but with my work, it's all emergency hydraulic repairs. So most of the time you're not at a job for that long. You get to jump into the next one, drive down the freeway, and
if you get a shit job or you don't like the bloke that you're doing the job for, you're only there till you got the job done. Then you're out of there. You don't have to see that bloke again until something else of his shit fails.
Yeah, that's right. Most of the time our customers are pretty good because they've stuffed up, they've destroyed something, and I'm there making it so they can go and make more money again. So I'm not usually ridiculed very heavily, and I always turn up with a big smile and make sure everyone's on the up because this is positive. I'm fixing shit. You're dealing with broken shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so apart from that, we had little brother's 30th up at Mum and Dad's and, sat down and watched some telly with the kids. It was great.
How wild did the 30th get?
I'd like to say it was wild. It was Jackson's, and he used to be a bit of a raver, and now it was pretty quiet beers in the shed with some reasonable old school music, and it was pretty chill.
No strippers.
Nah, no strippers. It was lots of parents there this time. Very low key.
I'm gonna have to start getting onto me 40th for next year. I have to start organising that so we can have a good time.
That sounds good.
If you get your stripper, you haven't had one yet.
What do you mean?
For your birthdays?
No, not for my birthday. I haven't. Nah.
No, get the stripper for that. That sounds good. Great idea.
We could just get one here. just get a topless Sheila to be bloody serving our drinks all night, so we don't have to pause the podcast and go and get them.
That's a good point.
Yeah, we've still got to go to Dunny.
Well, depends how quick they bring the drinks.
Yeah.
What'd you get up to, Joel?
Pretty slow week at work, so wasn't much happening. But
all shit jobs.
Yeah, well, it wasn't too bad.
Easy.
Yeah.
Clean, no grease.
No, I don't get dirty at work.
I saw you a bit muddy today. You're running around.
I got wet today. Today in the rain, had to be done. Don't work in the rain, but we're not stopping. Yeah, okay. No, how's that work? But righto.
I'll admit, most of the time I see you, you're in the dry and
Yeah.
you're pretty clean. And it was really good to see a Snapchat with you covered in rain.
I was soaking wet today. I had to send one of the other guys back to the yard to go and get a change of clothes and a raincoat.
Stop it.
I'm pretty sure, talking about working in the rain, you've got a photo of me at West Track also standing in the rain, and I literally have a tarp tied around my waist and the other end's tied to the top of a bulldozer, and I'm standing in the rain holding this tarp out for some bloke underneath the tarp to be working.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yep.
hell.
That was
How
the West Track
disgusting
way.
is that?
That's the West Track way, mate. That's just how it was.
Getting shit done.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I had to work in the rain today because they're doing a road closure Friday, so it's sort of unloading a heap of barriers and stuff ready for a traffic switch and whatnot. So
Yeah, that'll be
sort
pretty
of
cool.
Had to be done.
That'll be pretty cool. Where were you at?
Walgrove Road and Elizabeth Drive. They're
Yeah.
shutting off that intersection there,
Down
so
the
they'll
bottom
drive
here.
around it,
And
and
then,
the sort of bridge work will get done.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that exit will go straight across onto the M7 entry, won't it?
That Elizabeth Drive, which will be, that's the M12.
Yeah, but
That
where
section we're
you
talking
follow that new piece of Elizabeth Drive up to Walgrove Road, that gets you straight across to that entry onto the M7. Anyway, I use that. I use that entry all the time,
Yeah,
so
that'll be
I'm hoping I can still use it.
amazed. You still will just be amazed now.
Yeah.
It's a whole new section. So you veer. I don't know if it'll continue the way it is. I'm not really haven't looked at the maps, but it'll, as is, you divert around that intersection. So you'll come back out Elizabeth Drive and turn left or right. You're just 400 metres up the road.
Yeah. Yep. There's a fair bit going on that Elizabeth Drive M12 area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't go down that way too much.
Straight to the airport there from.
Yeah. Yeah. No, even like for Sydney, like when we go on the Upper Hawkesbury events or something like that, that new M7 at that new airport, Western Sydney Airport, will make it a lot easier to get out to Windsor as well, because it'll sort of cut the trip from the airport in half at least.
Until there's traffic there.
Yeah. You'll still get a lot of traffic in from there, from Northern Road, and that it's still chaos once you get in through
Here's me being hopeful.
Penrith
Yeah.
European Hospital way.
It would be nice, but yeah.
Doesn't matter. They're still not doing the 2 lanes, as far as I know, across the M7. M4. That's going to stay the same, apparently. I don't know how it works, but from what I've been told.
Yeah, I was sort of guessing that the third lane will actually turn into the M4 exit lane.
No, they're widening it. So they're widening the exit lane onto the westbound.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, that's just getting widened so more traffic can get off there faster.
Yeah, but that third lane will disappear through that exit. It'll be like a 2-lane exit, and then it'll be 2 lanes over the...
and then change back over. Oh,
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't see... Well, that's the worst part about the whole M7.
Yeah, you can't go on somewhere and actually have a look at what they're doing.
Because they're too close, like the Walgrove Road exit. The Walgrove Road exit past the M4.
You wouldn't be able to
they're too close together, and that's why you get so much traffic bumped up.
Great Western Highway.
It's garbage.
Great Western Highway, is it? Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah,
it'll be good. There's a lot of work going on in Sydney.
But on Saturday I went and watched me horse race. I got shares in a horse.
I went with you.
Old Yabby Pump. And it won.
Did go all right.
Oh, yeah.
By a half a length or more.
Yeah, she won.
Romped her in. So that was a bit of a celebration up in the winner's circle.
Yeah. Getting shouted free piss by the sponsor of the race.
Free beers by the sponsors.
I'm not even part owner, but Joel gets 2 tickets with his ownership thing, so I got up there too.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, it was a good afternoon. We're only in there a couple of hours.
Joel's out in the track having photos with his horse, and
we get to go down the stables and have a look and chat to everyone. It's pretty cool.
give him a little pat.
Yeah, didn't get quite.
You better win, you bastard.
Oh, he won good. It was a nice run.
Yeah, I go up to...
and it's not even his preferred distance, is it?
Nah, he's 1,800 metres. He only run over 13.
Wow.
So he could end up at 2,000, I think, but we'll see where he ends up. But he's got a good start on him anyway. We've got 2 wins out of 3 starts, so...
It jumps well out of the gate, eh?
He was a full length out of the gate before the rest of them even left.
As soon as the
Wow.
gate snaps open, the thing I've only seen 2 of its races, and both I've seen it jumps straight out of the gate and it's pulled a length straight up on the whole field, and then it slowly just works
And
its
he
way
just
back into field.
just tucking back in, just follow the crowd, and then just goes come around the straight, 300 meters, 400 meters to go, and just fucking see ya.
That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, my brother.
get on it next start. It'll be favourite.
29th.
It'll be favourite, but get on it.
My brother-in-law's a horse trainer. He's so I've been experiencing a bit of horse racing. It's pretty cool. It's nowhere near as bad as what the greenies try to put it out to be.
Looked after.
It bloody well looked after. Yeah. Yeah. No,
They do have a fair few die. I was at Wyong for his first run, and talking to I think it was Will Friedman, because Will and Richard training. I think it was Will, and he had to make a phone call to another group of owners that hadn't even raced yet, just had a heart attack training.
Yeah. Yeah, and look, that's sometimes part of
It just happens.
having
no
an
different.
animal.
Athletes dropping dead from a heart attack.
Yeah, that's right. So, I've been out to the horse farm out the back, and it's bloody nice. They're well looked after.
Yeah.
I think you have to. Like they're part of the family, even though there's a
100%.
lot of horses out there. They're
Yeah.
still part of those families, and they are looked after as much as the greenies want to say the opposite.
It's no different to someone's dog.
Exactly
Someone's dog,
right.
someone's cat,
Yep.
someone's snake, lizard, goldfish,
Yep.
whatever you want. They all get looked after the same.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Other than that, 3 parts finished the bar for us.
Yeah, it's
Getting
looking pretty good.
Just got to put some walls and a bench on it.
It's only a frame
There
at
we
the
go.
moment. We still ate dinner on it tonight.
It's starting
Yeah.
to get used.
It's there now. It's fucking not going anywhere. No, other than that, that's about it. That's all I've done.
Yeah, pretty keen to start using that bar. That'd be good.
Yeah. Once that's done, we'll start getting a few guests on and maybe entertain some people.
Do some videos.
Yeah, we got some videos happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my weekend got a little bit upset. I was planning on testing my boat down at Dargle, but because the old man lives a couple of hours away, we sort of pulled the pin early to not run it because of bloody Alfred. We were expecting some bad weather, so I rang Dad and said, "Oh, look, don't worry about it, because I guarantee if you come here, the weather will turn to shit and we won't get nothing done anyway," so we didn't worry about it. Turns out Alfred doesn't know what he's fucking doing.
Or the media's got no idea what they're talking about.
Or one or the other.
They seemed pretty upset when it didn't go and destroy everyone's gear, didn't it? Didn't they?
Yeah, so I didn't get to do that. But anyway, that did free me up a little bit for the weekend. I got to go see Joel's horse race. I went to with the family. I went to the Pioneer Village at Wilberforce out near the Trop.
That near my joint.
Yeah, it's not really my cup of tea, but for people that are interested in
The
all that
pub's
sort
my
of
cup of
stuff,
tea.
oh yeah, the pub right there. Well, we've been there plenty of times.
It's very good.
Plenty of late nights there too.
Had heaps of late nights there. I remember the first time I went to the Trop, I was with Dylan, come down with Dylan and Juz, stayed at Dylan's house. I walked in there, and we're just absolute dicks. I said, "I'm not coming back here. We'll just do whatever we want." I was there for 3 nights in a row.
It just
Trop
beckons you in,
sucked
doesn't
you.
it? No, the Tropicana Hotel.
It's
in
pretty
Wilberforce
nice then.
is
Have you been
bloody
there
good.
since it's all been
Oh,
done
it's
up?
beautiful. Yeah, I've been there a few times. Mad. As I think we spoke about kids areas and pubs now.
Yeah.
It's getting pretty common, and yeah, that's a bloody good kids area down the back.
Yeah. My only concern was I don't know where they're going to do the coin tossing for the two up now.
Oh, there's
Where they used to do it's got like nice little fencing for everyone to sit sort of at the restaurant. So I don't know
roof's
where.
a bit low now as well.
Yeah, they're out in the other bit where it's sort of a bit open where they probably could do it. The roof's really low. So yeah. Anyway.
yeah, but
Unless
where
they
all the TAB area is, they could just clear all that out.
No,
Yeah.
the roof's still really low.
No, not.
Just deal with it.
It's only a little bit high. It would only be a couple hundred higher.
Yeah, in that tab area, but you can go over. Remember where the old pool table used to be?
Yep.
The roof's a little higher over there, but it's not really a big area, and you'd have to be jamming people into corners and stuff, and it's probably not ideal.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Outside in the
That's up to
smokers
them to
area
work
would
out.
be good, but you'd have to say no smoking out here
Yeah.
for the day.
Or everyone else has got to cop the smoke,
Well,
which I don't want to. I won't
No, I
be going
wouldn't
there if
be
that's the case.
You won't cop a smoking area anymore.
Nah, shit.
Fuck that.
Smells like shit. I end up stinking. I end up feeling
I can't
crook.
handle it.
I'm not a smoker, but it doesn't worry me being around smokers.
No. Yeah,
in an open area.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Like one or two smokers.
Yeah.
Like if you're in a group of 10 of yous and 2 people like smoking and you're outside, not a big deal. I can cop that. But in like a smoker's room,
Yeah, like you walk
can
past the
jam
smokers
that.
where
you
the
can jam that. I'd end up crook. I'd end up sick.
pokies are. Those doors open. It's like, oh, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Talking about smokers' rooms, out in Pitt Town, there's a golf club, Linwood.
Oh yeah.
As you drive from Windsor towards Pitt Town, and you look at the roof line, and you can see there's like a ventilation exit on the roof line. Next time you drive past, have a look at the roof line. There's a dirty big tar stain in a triangle underneath that vent.
Is
Yeah,
there?
right.
Because directly below it is the pokies smoking room.
Yeah, right.
And you sort of think, like, that's what people are putting inside their lungs. I'm not a smoker. Do what you want to do. Don't worry me.
Yeah, I don't care who does what.
But,
It's just not my cup
That's
of
a
tea.
pretty blatant description of what it does to you, eh?
I'll have to have a look at that next time.
It's bad. Yeah. No, it's pretty noticeable.
Yeah, so I didn't get to test me out, but we'll be testing it this weekend, hopefully. As long as the weather plays the game, we'll be testing it this weekend. So I'll give you a little report next week on how testing goes.
I'll have to sort my boat out for that, actually, probably. Take mine or take yours out?
It's fucking too hard to take mine, but you could probably borrow Dargle tinny or something.
Oh,
You're going down to Dargle to test?
Yeah, it's
Can I put a protest in that? Like you're
if you want
testing on the track that we're going to be racing on soon?
to. If you want to.
Yeah.
You won't win, though.
Go anywhere.
You won't win, though. I'll just take you $50. Actually, I think they're 100 now.
150, I think they are now, aren't they?
The last one I put in was 100. I got the 100 back though.
Let's say you won.
Well, I didn't win. I got mucked around and I didn't put it in quick enough because no one had paperwork for me. And by the time I got put in, you got to put it in within an hour of the.
I think it was
event or something
strategic,
like
that one.
Anyway, we don't need to talk about it. Wouldn't have changed any difference in any results anyway. So I was just out of principle. But I had a phone call on the weekend from Oh, you want to have a shot? Righto, let's have a fucking shot. Get it out. Righto.
Another one
thanks
of
thanks to the little fat lamb shot buckets again. We're having another shot.
Who's are we stealing from?
James.
Joel's
brother.
youngest brother.
Thanks, James, for the stolen drinks.
Joel's not having one because Joel's a fucking sook.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Cheers.
Ready? Go.
I think he listens too because he wants a shirt.
That was delicious.
Yeah, that one wasn't bad. I don't mind that one.
What was that one called? That was
as we said
the green
before.
one.
As we said before, none of them are really that bad.
That first one I had was garbage. That was the Fireball one.
Oh yeah. So you don't want the other Fireball one in the fridge then?
Oh no! Don't worry. I'll still probably drink it, but yeah, it's not as enjoyable.
So as I was saying, I had a phone call on the weekend from Mikey Johnson. He's put a question in, which we will get to later, which was from last week or the week before, whenever it was, and we deliberately didn't answer it because it was we were going a bit long on the podcast, and we just decided that was gonna open up a can of worms and make shit go a bit longer. So we'll get into that question a bit later on when we get to the guest questions. But in his phone call, he asked me if I'd got a new job. And I said, no, I'm still doing the same stuff. And anyway, he goes, oh yeah, so you're still painting boats and stuff? I said, yeah. And he said, why the fuck was there a boat on the second story of an apartment block? And I went, what the fuck are you talking about? He said, well, in the podcast, he was climbing up a balcony to get into an apartment. And I said, oh yeah, well, that's... So painting boats and stuff, I thought I'd just tell everybody so everyone sort of knows what goes on. I'm an automotive painter by trade, so I paint, boats, cars, bikes, anything someone wants done at home. I'm lucky enough to have a pretty decent size block of land in the middle of town with a big shed on it that I can got a spray booth and stuff in, and I can paint from home. So that's where that comes from. And Mikey actually come around and he helped me build a little bit of that shed when he was up one time, which is why he kind of thought I just worked from home. But what I actually do all day, every day, is I still spray paint, but I spray paint bathrooms. Like
has spray painted my bathroom.
Yeah, like the wall tiles, the floor tiles, that kind of thing. It's just a cheaper way of revamping your bathroom than ripping it all out and retiling it. It's not as good as retiling. I know that. Everyone's going to flog me for doing a cheap, dodgy thing. It's not really dodgy. It doesn't. If you do it properly, it doesn't come off and all that like everyone thinks it does. But it's definitely not as nice as retiling. But it's a shitload cheaper, and I can get it done a shitload quicker than revamping your whole bathroom. So,
well, when I was selling my house, I got you to come out and redid all the bath and all the backsplash.
Yeah,
man, it made a humongous difference. It looked like a brand new job.
Yeah, it's pretty satisfying because you get to see, most of our jobs are like the old 50s style bathrooms where you've got like the pink tiles or green tiles or the mustard coloured tiles, and they just look crap, but they're all still solid. Like it's all still stuck
Good
to the
tiles,
wall.
yeah.
The tiles aren't hollow or anything like that. And the young guys that are buying them these days, they're that stretched out cash wise buying the thing, they can't renovate it, so they just get me to do a quick cheap go for sort of 5-10 years while they save a bit of money to redo it properly. And yeah, some of them, like I should take more before and after photos, but yeah, the job satisfaction is pretty good because you see a bathroom that looks really old and dated, and then all of a sudden they pull out all the old vanities and whatnot, you paint all the tiles, and they put a nice new chrome shower screen in, all this sort of stuff, and it looks like it was a brand new bathroom done yesterday. So, yeah, that's my job, Mikey. I wasn't painting a boat on the second story of an apartment block.
It'd be a pretty good apartment if it had a race boat inside it.
Yeah, it'd be a pretty good way of getting up there too, I reckon.
Not climbing up the side of the wall.
Yeah. So that was pretty much my week. I don't think I'd really did anything else. Well, this weekend I'm going to test my boat hopefully, and I got, as you're listening today, it'll be my daughter's 6th birthday. So happy birthday, Alira. Hopefully we're doing some fun stuff. She'll be at school in the morning.
Is she allowed to listen to you?
She listens to me every day. She hears a lot worse than what's on this podcast.
Is she allowed to listen to the podcast though?
Oh, she can if she wants to. I've never made her, and I wouldn't make her. But if she wanted to, yeah, that'd be cool.
I think she'd get a
I don't
kick
think
out
we
of
could
that.
top her. Was it her first birthday?
I think it was, yeah.
I don't reckon we'll top that one.
A lot of people that come to that birthday say they've never been to a first birthday party like that one. Anyway, yeah, she'll be at school. My young bloke's at school too. He's only 4. Ended up he got to go because he's just on the cusp of when they knock him back. So I think they knock him back like on the 1st of August. If they're born after the 1st of August, they'll have to be 5 before they go to school. But Toby's just before that, so I was umming and ahhing whether to send him early or just hang on for another year and send him next year. But
I was going to say, what do you reckon? What do you reckon about bringing your kids in early instead of the next year?
well, there's for and against for all of that. I think the only downside to me sending him early was pretty much at the other end of school when he's finishing school. He'll be sort of the youngest one out of all his mates.
He won't have a license.
Yeah, he won't have a license, so he's going to be jumping in cars with all his mates, which I'm not too concerned about, because if I teach him right, he might tell his mates, don't do that, don't do this. But I would.
No, don't do burnouts in front of the cop shop. Do burnouts at the back.
I'd much prefer. I know if I went the other way around, he'd definitely be one of the oldest kids in his class, which would mean he'd probably be driving everyone around, which it's his fuel money and all that sort of stuff, which would bother me a lot less, knowing that he's taking his mates around, but I've taught him to drive correctly and sensibly, so he does the right thing. So yeah, him jumping in someone else's car is probably the only downside to sending him early. But the benefit
they'll all
is
be at the pub.
Yeah, well, I don't know how you get around that these days. We used to have fake IDs, but I don't know how you get around that these days. But I won't really be bothering too much. It won't bother me too much if he's out with his mates drinking and whatever. As long as he'll know how to do that. He watches me. But yeah, if I send him early, his daycare said he was sort of ready to go socially and all the rest, and he is. He's the most social kid I know. But
second kid always does seem to be that.
Oh, he'll talk to
bit
anyone.
more wild.
We camp at Mungo over Christmas. up at the Mile Lakes there, and there's a dude that's always there, Mick. He's always got his big Mastercraft there, and he always sets a thing up on New Year's Eve and gets his boat speakers cranking, all lights on his boat, and he's like a bit of a DJ for the night. Anyway, he's an older dude. He's like, I don't know, how old would Mick be, Joel? In his 50s?
Oh, he'd have to be at least 50s, yeah.
Yeah, so he's in his 50s. My young bloke's 4.
Probably late 50s.
And Toby's like Mick's his best mate. Toby will ride his bike and go, oh, how you going, Mick? And then Mick will talk to him for 10 minutes, and then, Toby rides off. And yeah, super social kid. But yeah, going early, the worst thing that could probably happen is, he wasn't quite ready for it and doesn't get it. Worst case scenario, he just sort of repeats kindy. And, then it's the same as starting him a year late.
Yeah.
So.
Have you saved a year on daycare fees?
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Daycare fees aren't all that dear by the time you get all the subsidies and that, but, oh man, it's painful the way they do their invoices. I couldn't understand any of them, and I used to get the shits because I couldn't understand none of it. But anyway, that's not my problem anymore.
At least they're both going to the same school. And it's, one pick-up time.
Pretty easy to get to from home too.
Mm.
I can't wait for the day where I can just send them off and then they can come home on their own.
Yeah.
Before the school built the new big fence, it was easy. They could just jump the fence pretty much straight at the driveway and walk to school. Well, in the school. But now that they've put a big fence up, they've got to walk around to the front. But anyway. Yeah.
Makes life easy.
All right, let's get into our motorsports segment. You want to give us a rundown of what you want, Hayden?
Yeah, so a couple of things have gone on the past couple of days. Aaron Love, he's lost his seat at Blanchard's with Aaron Cameron reported to be taking his seat.
Did he lose it or did he?
Well,
because I've read 2 things.
Yeah, see, the story I heard the other day was, or was it yesterday morning? I think it was. It was written down as a mutual agreement, but I reckon that was helped pretty heavily by him running into the side of his teammate heading out for qualifying.
Yeah, that
round
was pretty
1.
disastrous, wasn't it?
Like that's pretty good that's a pretty good way to lose your seat, really.
Yeah.
Like, and he didn't set the world on fire last year either. And I'm in no way saying he's not a good driver, because he was a cracking driver in the Porsche series last year, the year before. Absolutely awesome. He was jumping between the Australian series and overseas series, like the proper European one. And I think he missed one round over here in Australia. And that, if he'd even attended that round, pretty sure he would have won the series over here.
Yeah, right.
So he's a very good driver. It just didn't work out well for him in supercars, unfortunately.
That happens to some of them.
Yeah, it's pretty cutthroat. Like, qualifying's usually within half a second.
Yeah.
Like, from top to bottom, half a second. Like, that's pretty good.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty close. Oh, yeah.
That's my bad.
Yeah.
Joel's over here watching reels.
Focus.
I'm focused.
As well as that, Craig Lowndes announced his departure from 888 this morning. That Tuesday morning.
Not the co-drive, but he's still co-driving.
No, he's co-driving this year.
Yeah, and next year too.
Not for Ford. Not for 888.
No.
So he's stepping down from his role at 888. That's along with, I think it's lead of engineering, Jeremy Moore. He's pretty good bloke over in Porsche, as far as I know. They're both connecting up. They're connecting up with GM instead of an actual team. Craig Lowndes may be sort of subletted out to a team, but they're moving across. They're staying with GM due to their connection with GM.
From what I read, GM's looking for a homologation team, and I reckon it'll be Premier.
Yeah, well,
and that's where Lowndes will end up.
Yeah, I reckon so too. They'll probably still run that wild card over at the Premier, so Premier will be running 3 cars.
Yeah, he's not
for the
short
year.
of $1.
They've got Roland Dane heading that Premier squad, doing the talking to Chev, which is obviously why Premier's been looked at so heavily. You couldn't put Team 18 as the homologation team. They were the other. That was the second team that was sort of in the circle.
Not enough money.
But you look at the the work that Team 18's doing compared to what Premier's doing, Premier's certainly a lot more interesting compared to Team 18. And Team 18's very well connected to Triple Eight through the Roland Dane.
I think that's where
the connection's going to come from.
Yeah.
As well as KRE engines. That's what also I was going to say.
Well, they just stay as the GM
KRE
dealer,
stays as the GM engine builder. So it's most likely going to go back to Ford Power. I can't remember what Dick Johnson Racing called their business. I think it's Ford Power Plants or whatever it's called. It'll most likely go. Ford engines will stay there, and Triple Eight will sort of put some power behind that, and get some leadership in there alongside DJR. So the Triple Eight transition to Ford deal is getting a fair bit bigger, and sort of you realise how ingrained they are in the sport. So I think Triple Eight was very top heavy. They had a lot of very good people, and I realistically think that pulling a few of those good people out of there can actually bring that team. Hopefully, they could just be saying, "Oh no, we already know what's going on. This is all by the plan." But from the outside looking in, hopefully, it brings Triple Eight back to the rest of the teams.
Yeah, hopefully. Or Ford up, and we will have parity.
Well, they've already got parity now. There's been a whole heap of work with that, with the Mustang compared to the Camaro. Camaro came out of the blocks pretty hard.
Yeah.
And Ford had to catch up. They made some, I reckon, realistically, they made some mistakes. They weren't as hard on building that car compared to what Triple Eight were. But then you remember when they did the Gen 2 Mustang, they got flogged. Everything that they did really well got copped shit. Yeah. So I reckon they probably pulled back a little bit when they were setting up the cars.
Sneak up on them.
Yeah, which is what they've done. Like the Mustangs are a really good car now. It'll be interesting to see what they can do with the engines.
It'll be good to see next weekend. This weekend.
Well, I really enjoy the F1 circuit, the F1 setup that supercars do, because it's 4 sprint races, really fast, pretty decent passing on that track as well, and they're really short, so you either bite or get bitten over there. It's not an endurance track. It would be if they had longer races, but they're all really short races on such a big UAM circuit, so there's a bit of room for passing.
Yeah,
you can be pretty aggressive. Is that still part of the championship?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
there's no rounds that aren't a part of the championship.
No, it's
all. They wish that Bathurst wasn't, so they could all have a full-on slog at it.
Yeah, I think it shouldn't be part of the championship. It's not. Yeah, it's not the same as it used to be, which is why I reckon it's getting more boring and boring each year.
Yeah, I do agree with you. How a lot of the teams actually want to make sure they come out the other side with as many points as they can.
Yeah,
but
as well as not having a wrecked car to have to rebuild before the next round as well.
Which is only 2 weeks later at Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Which is another car wrecker.
Yeah.
Solid walls there.
Yeah. But say this new point system that supercars have brought out, hopefully that brings it back a little bit. Like you've only got to be in that top 4 before you get to Adelaide. And if you're there, you're in the championship hunt.
Yeah.
So that should keep it pretty exciting.
Yeah, hopefully.
So the other thing that happened on the weekend for motorsport was, as Chelsea spoke about last week, was the Race of Champions.
Oh yeah, I did think about going to that on Friday night. I'm not really much of a fan of live sort of motorsports because, well, I do. I don't mind going, but one of the things that kind of irks me a little bit about going is you don't get to see the whole track. You only see, a couple of corners at best.
Yeah, you got to make sure you can see the big screen wherever you sit.
But then, I was just flicking through Facebook or Instagram or something like that, and I seen the track, and I was like, oh, that's right, it's in a stadium, you can sit above it, you can see the whole track, and I was like, nice one. Yeah, you can see the whole track, and I was like, oh, maybe we could go. And then I looked it up, and the missus was going to be a bit later in from work, and I thought, don't worry about it. But we'll watch it on the TV. It was cool as to watch on the TV.
I really enjoyed watching it on telly. I watched it on the Friday night. We didn't go to either night because it was a bit hard to get there after work, and I had my brother's 30th, as I said. But it was awesome to watch on the telly. So we had Friday night was Nation Against Nation, where Australia's Will Brown and Brodie Kostecki ran second to the French team. That was a cracking couple of races. That was really good to watch. And then night 2 was the individual battles. That's where the Swedish team replacement, a very non-Swede driver, Chaz Mostert, he raced against the winner in the final, Sebastian Loeb from France, beating Chaz 2-0. So as much as Chaz was really driving well that night, Chaz was... Who did he race before that? Sebastian Vettel. That was a cracking race between the two of them.
Yeah.
He kicked Sebastian's ass. So supercar driver racing against an F1 driver. That's just a pretty cool thing to happen anyway. And so he flogged him and then got into the final. And then Sebastian Loeb just proved why he's such a good driver. He's had, 7 world titles in rally?
Yeah.
Like that's... And it was in a rally car that they finished with. So
yeah. I listened to a pod with Chaz on it just during that week, and I wouldn't say stressed out, but he was a little bit nervous about driving some cars that he'd never driven before, never driven anything like that, like rallycross cars and four-wheel drive. He'd never driven anything like that, so he was a bit like nervous to be doing that. So for him to do that well is pretty impressive.
Oh, he drove awesome. So so that was the end of the Race of Champions. They're actually this Tuesday night they actually had it all ripped up. Probably not completely back to grass, but they had the track all ripped up Monday afternoon.
Yeah, I seen a photo Monday and it was back to dirt, ready for the grass to go back on.
I think
pretty cool.
There's a footy game there this Friday or Saturday, isn't there?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
You'd have to look that up,
That's
but I
a
think it
bloody
is
quick
because I've seen
turnaround.
the post. Like, don't worry, the footy should be right.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure, but I'm pretty sure I heard him say that there'll be a game on the ground next week.
It's a quick turnaround, but yeah, like if the stadium's designed to do all that, like, so it should.
Yeah. I could be wrong. It might be 2 weeks, but yeah, that's what I thought I heard him say.
No, it's not this week.
While you're talking about Chelsea, Chelsea's rang through a report live from the F1. So let's play that.
Hey guys, coming at you live from the Australian Grand Prix Formula 1 opening round weekend. We are having a great time in the Paddock Club hospitality space, meeting lots of drivers and lots of other F1 personalities, and just in general having a blast. So predictions for the weekend are based entirely on optimism and hopes and dreams and nothing to do with fact or statistics at all. But we're going Oscar Piastri P1, Lewis Hamilton P2, and Carlos Sainz in P3. All right, let's see how we go for the weekend, guys. Enjoy.
Thanks for that, Chelsea. Hope you're having fun down there. You got any motorsport news, Joe?
Yeah, I was keeping an eye on the New Zealand Hydro Thunder, the Lucas Oil Hydro Thunder series. I didn't watch the races, but I was just looking at highlights and whatnot. They look like they've got Jack Lupton's boat closer than what it was when we were over in Caopero.
I did see that
He's changed all those wings on the.
He said he had a win.
He had a win in the first heat of the EA Baker.
Oh
beat Ken, and then Ken beat him in the second heat by a bigger margin, by 8 seconds. So Ken ended up winning the EA Baker for this year. I think that's back to back as well.
That's nice.
And
Ken, so that was 1-2 Jack then Ken, and then in the other the second heat it was 1-2 Ken.
I watched an interview. Jack had a stuff up, hit his bit of a rooster tail, and kept him a bit wide. That's why Ken ended up so far in front.
Okay.
But yeah, and the Hydro Thunder Series was Ken in first, and Jack second, and then Scott Croker third.
Oh yeah, what round's that?
That is round 4.
And what do they got? They got
And
one
they go
more
to
left.
Twizzle in the 29th.
That's confirmed that's going to be.
That's the
Americans coming back over.
Yeah, for the Massport Cup. Yep. Yeah. Andrew Tate will come back over for that.
He is.
And that's the final round.
That's the final round of the series.
Yeah.
And then from there they'll go back to Canada, I think, at some point later on in the year to run their summer series.
The boats that they're racing in New Zealand
They
will
stay.
stay.
Yeah, they got their own boats.
And they've got
over
their
there.
own. Yeah.
And engine packages, everything's over in
Yeah, you
Canada.
wouldn't want to be transporting. Like,
Nah.
yes, I know this is a big money deal between those things.
Lot of work to be transporting all that.
Exactly what I was going to say. You don't want to be transporting your boats from here to there.
Yeah, Ken's boat that's over here or over there was his boat from Canada 2 years ago.
They'd ordered a boat and left it over there.
They built a brand new boat over there, raced it, brought it back here, built a brand new one and raced it last year.
They
Both
did
of
the
them.
same with Dave's one too, didn't they?
Dave's was a couple of years before that.
Yeah, Dave's got raced over
Miss
there.
Waverley one.
Yeah, Dave's got raced over there and then got brought back to New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they haven't been sending boats from
No,
New
they
Zealand.
always bought them.
Yeah,
over
I wouldn't think you'd want to take a boat back to where they're
well,
built.
they bought most of Jack's the only just built one, a New Zealand one, apart from Warwick's.
Oh,
lobster
Jack's
boat.
one's been that's a
Kiwi built boat.
Kiwi built boat. Yep.
KRB boat. Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
what's the other fella's name? Oh, I was talking to him. When we're over there. The other fiberglass. It does a bit of work for.
That's the bloke who lives over here.
Nah, not Rolson.
That's what I was thinking of, Grant.
Nah, that helps the Rat Attack guys as well. I can't think of his name now. Anyways, he's helped both of them combined as a whole. It's not like how they do boats over here. The sponson's one mould, the centre's one mould, the other sponson, deck's mould. This whole bottom is one mould. It's
The
like
whole
a normal plug.
Wow, the sponson and the centre.
The whole lot, yeah.
Crap. That's how they do it in New Zealand, or
That's how they've just done Jack's boat now.
Okay. Is that for structure?
Don't know. I think that's just
Maybe we need to get a
Ease, maybe?
fiberglasser on.
Maybe.
maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I've got someone on mine.
I can't imagine it being too much for the structure because that's still going to be.
They've still got to put all their bearers and
frame and
framework
stuff
in them.
inside, which is all still going to be in the same spot. It's probably just quicker to lay the whole thing up in one mould, I guess.
I'm assuming it's all bagged.
They probably do it like the other boats. They probably do it in separate moulds so that if they want to modify something, they can modify it a little easier. Maybe I'm not sure.
But yeah, other than that, they had a good weekend over there. Shame we can't. I'd like to go over for Twizzle to watch again, but I'm going to Brisbane to watch my horse run.
Oh yeah.
Still not a bad weekend.
Yeah.
It'll be good going up to Brisbane.
Oh, I'm going on my own, so I'll end up lost in the fucking city, I reckon. Pissed and don't know how to get home.
We'll put
Joel will find a couple of trendsetters up there to hang out with.
We'll put an air tag on you. I haven't got any motorsport to talk about, but I'll talk about the footy. My Bulldogs had a fucking win. How good's that? Although I would have been quietly okay if they lost because of the big hitter thing. There was a couple of guys that took them, and I would have been quite happy for them to get knocked out. But so we knocked another one out. We knocked Mitch out first round too. So sucks to be Mitch. Sorry, Mitch. Thanks for your donation.
Donation to.
So
to
yeah,
Big
we'll
Pot.
all have to put our tips in by the end of this week.
Thursday it is. It's an early game too.
Yeah, so by the time you're hearing this, the tips probably already will be in, but we can't tell you now because no one's put their tip in yet because we're recording earlier. I don't know who I'm going to tip yet. I'm thinking, don't know, maybe the Sharks. The Sharks over the Cowboys. Sharks did really well against Penrith. That had a bit Bit of an extra break as well. Vegas hangover may hurt them, but yeah, that's who I think I might go with. But I might change my mind. I've got up until the kickoff of the first game Thursday, so I'll wait and see. Who are you going to tip this week, Joel? Oh, that's right, you're out. That's
I'd like to tip one.
But
But if I was going to tip one, I'd probably tip... Yeah, I'd probably go the Sharks.
Who are they playing against?
the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
So everyone get on the Cowboys.
It is up at Townsville too, though. So, anyway, we'll see. All right. We want to get into some listener questions. We got any?
Yeah.
We got some new ones. We'll get into Mikey's one.
Yeah, do
What do you
Mikey's
want to
one.
start
Yeah,
Mikey's
get into
one
Mikey's
first?
one.
Start.
All right.
He's been waiting.
So Mikey asked, like last week or the week before, whenever it was, about some Dargle stories. So we found a bit of a soft one for you, so no one's going to get into any trouble or anything like that.
We might do a bit of a part series and cut
Yeah.
the stories every now and again.
Yeah, we might just slowly bring some more out over the next few episodes. But this one, it didn't actually start at Dargle. It sort of started at my place. Well, it started really when we were sort of kids.
A lot
We
of
used
years
to
ago, yeah.
used to muck around with some model rockets, building model rockets and putting engines in them and shooting them up into the sky and having shitloads of fun. And anyway, I grew up a little bit, and I still had a couple of spare engines, and I had a few people round at my house one day, and we had I found a rocket engine, so we quickly built a little fake rocket and jammed this rocket engine in it, took it down the park and fired it off. And
Is that when you wrote me number on the side?
yeah. So Joel wasn't with us; he was away.
Thailand.
And because it was the middle of the night, we thought we're probably going to lose this, so let's write a phone number on it. And Dylan Greentree was with me, and he said, let's write Joel's phone number on it. And I thought, that's a fucking great idea. So we did that anyway. We built this rocket, sent it off, and we lost it. But Dylan thought that was the coolest thing on the planet. He'd never seen one before. So anyway, a week later, Dylan goes out and buys himself a model rocket. So then, of course, I had to go and buy myself a model rocket. Juz had to go and buy himself a model rocket. Did you buy one too, Joel?
I don't think I ended up buying
No.
one. Then.
He
Everyone
got scared off because he got a phone call from someone random person.
Everyone had to go and buy model rockets.
I don't know why I didn't end up. I remember going and buy the motors. I had to go and buy motors for Juzz's.
Yeah. Well, and this is where Dargle comes into it, because you need a fair bit of space to launch these things so you can get them back. So they launch up into the sky. They go pretty high, a few hundred feet in the sky, and then they pop a little parachute out the nose, parachute back to the ground. You run over, grab it, put some new engines in, set it up on the stand again, fire it off again, and have a bit of fun. We had a fair bit of fun when we were kids. You was there, Hayden, when we used to stick the mice in there, get them. They thought they were,
No astronauts.
They were.
They were the mice version of Elon Musk, shooting them up into space.
Well, Elon's not jumping in his own.
Well, no.
I
Well,
wouldn't want
there
to.
wasn't the mice's one either.
No, yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, so that led us to go into Dargle. And so we've all got these rockets, and we started firing them off.
I think it was only Juzz's that day, wasn't it? Or do you wreck yours one? Or you ran out of motors for that
Yeah, I can't. I think my one might have ended up in a tree or something like that.
Yeah, might have, yeah.
And then Juz had a big one. He was painted like full army styles.
Probably a metre high, I reckon.
Yeah, it was about a metre long. Mine was only sort of 300 or something. Dylan had a nice little short one too. Or no, Dylan's wasn't that short, I don't think. But he fired it a few times, and the parachute didn't come out a couple times, so it come firing back to the ground.
Oh, it ended up real short.
And it kept bending. So we'd cut the bent part of the chassis out of it, and then just put the nose cone back on. So it kept getting shorter and shorter. And anyway, Juzz's one had these big massive engines in it, so we kept shooting these up. I think it was
two stage engines.
Yeah.
But the delay was too long.
Yes. Well, yeah, either that or his rocket was slightly too heavy. So anyway, we hooked the battery up and shot Juzz's rocket up for the first time. It goes up. No worries, goes up pretty high, looks pretty good. Turns around because it's either a bit too heavy or the delay on the rocket was too short, so the rocket had turned around and aimed back at the Earth. All of a sudden, the second stage of the engine takes off, starts firing the rocket back at the Earth. And we just go, oh shit, run! And all of us scattered across the Dargle paddock, and then right at the last second, probably I reckon,
maybe
maybe
20 metres, 10 metres.
10 metres above the ground, it pops the nose off and shoots the parachute out, and then just floats back perfectly.
Oh, what?
Nailed it. Perfect.
That's mint.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Got a video of it. I just found it the other day.
Yeah, Joel got that video. We might put that up on the socials. You can check it out.
You need probably can't have voiceover because you've got to hear it just.
Yeah.
Run.
Yeah.
All the girls in the background screaming.
Dylan's one was pretty good too. So Dylan had a 2-stage engine in his, but his was a lot smaller and lighter. But anyway, by this time, we'd shortened the rocket so far, we couldn't have... So when you put them on the guide post, you have like 2 little eyelets on the side of the rocket, so it keeps it straight when it's going up. Well, Dylan's thing was so short, we only had 1 eyelet. So anyway,
right.
it's taken off from its base plate. It's gone up and it's kicked a bit sideways, and when it's come off the top of the guide post, it's shot straight down the caravan park, straight towards like all the campers and everything in the thing. This is just the first stage of it. It goes down, hits the ground as the second stage kicks in, bounces back up off the ground, comes screaming back up towards us, like a bit like probably like roof height. So it was above our heads, but we're like, holy shit, where's this thing going? And then went back across the road with cars going past, and we're like, oh shit, lucky didn't hit one of those. Yeah, we've had a bit of fun out there with the rockets.
I think the last one, Dylan's one, we ended up real short and just did fucking spirals everywhere.
No, that was Juzz's one when we stuck the 3 engines in.
Oh, that's
it.
right.
We ended up damaging Juzz's rocket bad enough, and he still had 3 spare engines left. And if we...
we went up to the workshop and machined
we lathed one. They're only made out of cardboard, but we laid them down so they're a bit skinnier, so we could jam 3 engines in the arse of this rocket, and then we wired them all up. Juzz has done the honours and pressed her on the battery to fire it off, and because it was a bit unevenly balanced and only 2 of the engines fired, not the third one, it just went straight off the guidepost and just did about 4,000 360s in the air, like at like 5 metres up, and then it went bam, shot straight back at the ground. Then it was all ripped and torn apart, and it was useless after that. But yeah, that was a good time. That was pretty fun. Hopefully that satisfied you for a week, Mikey. But we'll get into some more stronger ones later. We still got to find out what ones we can talk about, and what ones we can't. But if you've got a specific one that you want us to talk about, let us know. Also, at the end of Mikey's question, which we didn't say last week, he wanted to know what our favourite circuit race boat was of all time. No particular class or anything like that. We just had to pick one from any era, any class. Which one's our favourite? What would you say, Hayden? Let's just make it for now. You can't say your own.
No.
And you can't say a relation.
No, I was definitely going to remove that because obviously I'm going to look at family, but I'd have to say loose cannon.
Yeah,
I reckon
this is a good fast boat.
In its day, that was unbeatable. Tony Walsh was a cracking driver, and Mark Lowndes was an incredible engineer.
Probably one of the best.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. He actually lived just near where I grew up in East Currajong. And, what he could do with a race boat was a lot better than most other people I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's incredible. We're still racing boats. The boat that I've got now was actually fitted out by Mark Lowndes, and I didn't even know it.
Yep.
And we're still using a lot of those parts to this day.
Yeah. Smart man. Very smart man.
Absolutely awesome. So yeah, that loose cannon boat.
That's
I think
your favourite.
Does that hold the record for the most amount of March Watsons?
I don't think so.
No, probably not now.
It was Is it the March Watson that it was holding?
It would
the
definitely.
record for?
It would definitely have the record for in a row.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure because I think
Palmer hasn't knocked that off.
No, I think Palmer might have knocked the total off, but I think Loose Cannon won like 4 years in a row, maybe 5. Because I think
That's a lot.
I think Mark Lewin, being the engineer, won at like 7 or something. Because as soon as Loose Cannon sort of finished, he took
that's
over
when he
with
jumped
Troy,
in
and
Troy,
Troy won the very next
The
one
Madness
after
one.
that, and it kept going again. But
Someone
Yeah.
will know who's listening anyway.
yeah,
Let us know.
tell
Yeah, like
us we're wrong.
I'd like
we
to
enjoy
say-
haters.
Obviously, I'd like to say Madness, but Madness is probably the really well-known top dog.
I
And he's
think
still
I-
out there racing.
I think I like the white one.
The White Madness. That was a Child's Play, wasn't it?
No,
Or was that
No,
the...
there was an Evercraft. There was
Evercraft.
also a White Child's
Yes,
Play.
that's right. The white
Yeah.
Pink Pussycat boat turned into the White Madness.
Yeah.
Is the White Madness... Yeah, the White Madness is the one that crashed at Dargle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, and the White Child's Play... Well, the Child's Play is now outlaw.
Yep.
Yeah.
So is that your favourite, Joel?
Oh, I'm having trouble remembering of standouts.
Can be any
Apart
class.
from-
Doesn't have to
yeah.
be blame boats. Any
Yeah,
class.
it doesn't have to be the unlimited class.
Yeah, go over your one. I'll have
Yeah,
a
leave
bit,
Joel
try and
with
have
that.
a bit more of a think about it.
I find it hard too to commit to one. I've probably got a couple. I could probably say, I reckon, as a kid, you love watching the GP hydroplanes.
Yep.
And Spellbound was a really cool hydroplane. The paint job was really nice. I probably didn't really know too much back then, but now that I know it was turbocharged back then, I like it even more.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I'd have to say probably Spellbound. There's another one that probably stands out a bit, Even Deeper.
That was awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
really, really fast 6-litre boat. It sat beautiful on the water. Had a nice little paint job on it too. Like, it wasn't too extravagant, just like the little lightning bolts on the deck. It just looked really cool as well, and yeah, had the looks to match its pace. So
I
yeah,
think that's planned on coming back out again too.
oh yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
nice. Putting a
I don't
cockpit in
know.
it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just wanting to run 105 before it stops.
Yeah. There's probably heaps of others. Like there's shitloads that stand out to me really, but ones that you probably remember and will remember for a long time are probably those two for me.
Yeah, the top secret boat, that was always pretty quick.
Yeah.
Was there a couple of them,
Quick.
or was there only one that went over backwards?
Only one. Only
The
went over
top
backwards
secret went
once.
over backwards. Yeah.
Well, that's only 04,
Yeah.
03.
Yeah, I think it was 04.
That's
Might have
Yeah,
been
the
03.
twin turbo 6-litre then.
That's trying pretty hard to send a boat over backwards with a
Well,
6-litre in day.
His old man did
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
know.
couple. There's a couple of people that done that. Mal McCall did it as well at St George. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
To send a displacement boat, like you can sort of understand like a tunnel boat, they're designed to catch air and sit on top of it, but a displacement realistically is not designed to use the air as much as a tunnel boat is.
Nah, but a well balanced boat will probably still sit nice and square when it goes up into the wind, and there's a lot of sort of clinkers on the bottom of the Child's Plays and the Brucey
That can
boats
catch,
that
yeah.
probably do hold a bit of air. Like the Evercraft these days, they're pretty smooth on the bottom, so I don't reckon you'd ever see one of them.
Bit skinny too. They'll
Re-
spill the air easy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they're because they are so narrow and they're smooth on the bottom. I think if they get a little too high out of the water before they got too far into the blowover point, they'd probably spill the air and tip on their side,
Mhm.
either side. Yeah, that's probably the only reason I could see to blow one of those things over backwards.
Actually, another boat that comes up with the old It's Horny. That was always a good 5-litre.
You can't say your own.
It wasn't mine then.
Well, but it is now. All right,
That's a good couple of boats.
hopefully that tied you over,
Good
Mikey.
picks.
All right. Have we got any other questions? I got a recording. There's a recording here. Do we want to play that, or we got any other ones that we want to talk about first?
Well, I've had Jason Cook hit me up. I was talking to him on Monday night. He was talking about us. He was asking about. We all went go-karting. I can't remember. That was a spectacular weekend. A long time ago in Windsor. We went to the Butterfly Farm as a group, and he was saying how good it would have been how good it would be for us to try and, as a podcast, try and set up an outing
Yeah.
He's asked for that.
They've resurfaced that track too.
We could probably do something like that when we get a little bit more organised and a little bit more professional. We might try and organise some kind of event at the Butterfly Farm or another go-kart joint or anything else that someone might have a suggestion for. I'm open to ideas for that.
There's always fun go-karting, but
yeah, sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, no,
Alright.
go-karting's always good fun.
yeah, we'll do the
Play
your recording.
Play me recording. Here we go.
Hey guys, long time listener, first time caller. Question of the week for you boys in regards to powerboat racing and corner rules. We get told we must maintain an even arc around the turns. If we set our boat in lane 3, we must maintain our lane 3 pole all the way around the turn without hindering another boat. Why then can a hydroplane turn in pole 10, kiss the apex in pole 1 and exit in pole 10 without a disqualification?
Right, before I get into answering that, I'm going to say, where the fuck were you? Sounds like you're on a bloody maritime buoy out in the middle of the ocean. Ding, dong, ding.
Someone's in the kitchen playing with saucepans or something.
Do better. Well, I'm assuming everyone knows who that is. It's pretty hard not to recognise that voice. Yeah, do better, Reese.
Mr. Reese Coles.
How do you want to go about answering that, Hayden?
Well, they've got training wheels, so they're just learning.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for being the man that records your voice and puts in your question properly. You've done what you're told. Thank you very much.
It is a much preferred method. That way we can play it on the air.
Yeah, and we can put shit on your audio.
Yeah. So do it properly.
I completely agree. A hydro, even to the point of hydros, this is the controversial side of my statement. Hydros not starting on the outside of displacement boats. I think that sucks because the hydros are designed to go faster around the outside, and the displacement boats will get swamped if they're on the outside of a hydro. We saw it at Yarrawonga last May. The Destiny boat got caught up in that wash. I'm not saying that Ricky did anything wrong, but he got caught up in that wash and the boat launched up and all the way out of the water. I just think that a hydro sort of needs to stay on the outside of a displacement boat.
I don't mind that. I think it's an open race. You've got what you've got.
Understand
if you're
that,
fast
but
enough
I
to
sort of
qualify
think
one, take it.
I just think it completely destroys the rest of the race because the displacement boat's so much smaller than a hydro. The displacement boat, when the hydro comes through the corner, it just completely washes it out. And so if they come in from the outside and skim the buoys, then they haven't held their line. They should be disqualified anyway. Yeah, cool. But I still don't think that a hydro should be.
I think it would make the race more entertaining if they start on the outside because it'd give the logboats a little bit of a head start, I guess you could say. Well, yeah, depends which way you want to look at it. But
well, how many times have we seen a hydro start on the outside at Taree against, say, a displacement boat? Like the best we've seen would be Liberty racing against the displacement boats up there, and he still got kicked. He still got his ass kicked.
They do all right
but
until
it was
the second
awesome.
lap.
It was an enjoyable race up until that point. You put the hydro on the inside of that displacement boat, that race is completely done. It's not interesting, and you just unless that boat breaks down, you just know what's going to happen. Because you can't. You've got to hold your pole.
They've got to slow down.
Yeah. So if that is the actual case, they should hold their lane 1, which means you can go around in pole 2, no dramas. So it shouldn't be an issue.
When they're throwing up so much wash, and
if you're holding them in, you won't be in their wash, but
yeah, they're wash. So my argument is like the argument is for most people's things. If you get hindered by the boat that beats you to the buoy, just be faster.
Be better.
Be faster than them to the buoy. At Yarrawonga, I don't
When
know
their
whether it was
closing
last
speed's
year.
at 160 mile an hour compared to our 140, our 140 in good water, they can do 160 in shit.
Yeah, but they're only doing
Well,
160 probably on the back straight
They got to
once
lift
they've
off.
wound up.
You've got your straight line coming into that corner.
Well, that's
as
what
they're
I was going to
coming
say. At Yarrawonga, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but the start straight was really short. So they started it like at the start finish, which is kind of halfway up the track, which does give everyone a fair run into that corner. And if you've got, you know, a lot of people think that hydroplanes don't accelerate like a logboat does, but they do. Because acceleration is just a power to weight ratio. That's all it is. And hydroplanes aren't as heavy as what people think.
They're
If
probably
you've got
not
a
as heavy as
hydroplane
they
that
used
weighs,
to be either.
yeah, the hydroplane probably weighs a ton, 1,500 kilos, which is pretty much the same as your logboat.
Mine weighs 1,300 fully, like with me and the bloody.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting
Thankful.
at. And a hydroplane's be very similar. So by the time, you know, you've probably got similar horsepower, so you're all going to accelerate the same. So if the start straight is nice and short, and you don't get a chance to get too much past your 130, 140, well, you're all going to be there together, aren't you? My aim would be if I was in that position and I was on the outside of a hydroplane, I'd be really wanting to nail the start and try and out jump them and get 1 or 2 lengths like pretty early, and then squeeze the shit out of them onto the boys.
Yeah,
I know you're not supposed to do that, but that's what I'd be doing.
Yeah. But back to Reese's question. Should they be able to go from pole 10 to pole 1 to pole 10 again? I say no.
Well,
you got to hold.
We go back to talking about it
I'm not an OD
last
because
week.
no one would want me to be, because they probably wouldn't have many people liking them. I know I wouldn't have many people liking me, which is probably why I don't want to be one.
Still, you don't have enough friends now, let alone being an OD.
But you really... Thanks, Odin. Real funny, mate. Yeah, but I don't know. They definitely shouldn't be allowed to if no one else can.
Yeah, they got to change the rule back for everyone to do it. So you over and under. Rule.
Yeah, but when you talk to hydro drivers at the drivers briefing, they say no, we can hold an arc around the corner. We can hold our pole through the corner. So if they can, why are they going and kissing the buoy?
I've had this argument with them before. They think the corner starts like at the first buoy and ends at the last buoy. So basically, if the 3 buoys aren't like the third buoy, the middle buoy, if it's not too far separated, if they're kind of close to in a line, like a really small sort of arc, they can start wide. By the time they've turned to come across the track and drifting sideways, they're sideways going down the track, they're in like pole 2 on the first buoy, and then they come into like 1.5 on the second buoy, and they're out to 2 on the third buoy. But then as soon as they pass that third buoy, they then think they're into the straight, so they just drift out to 7. So they started in 7, come into 2 for the first buoy, 2 for the second buoy, 2 for the third buoy, and then drift straight back out to 7. So it's like a...
I think the ruling is
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, but I think the ruling is actually when you enter the buoys, you need to sort of keep round about the same distance between those buoys.
Yeah, well, you need to... there needs to be
All the way
determined
around.
where the buoys start and finish. Which it was in there for a little bit, but it's not an actual rule. It was just put in a bit of a I don't know what the word is, but like try to follow this, and it was 100 meters before the corner. That's where you pick your lane, which would stop that, but that's not a rule, so we can't run with that.
Yeah.
But if they wanted to do that, which I don't like anyway, because I like, as we said the other week, I like being able to change lanes. But if we're going to stick with this lane holding thing, well, you need to make every boat do the same thing.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, if you can't change lanes, no one can change lanes.
Yeah, so my opinion is it's a lot harder for the hydros because a lot of their turning is drifting. So if you keep them on the outside, they can move around a little bit and it doesn't affect the people that are expected to hold a square line around that corner. Sort of makes it a bit fairer for the hydro driver, but it makes for a cracking race.
Oh, I'd never argue that. It definitely makes for a better race because, like I said, it kind of gives the logboat a head start. But
the hydro, 3/4 of the time, the hydro, if they can finish that race, a good hydro, like say White Noise, mate, you're not going to beat him around Taree. Not a chance. If both boats are on song, it's going to be almost impossible to beat Ricky around that track.
They can get
in a displacement boat.
That's pretty much because the water ends up roughing up. I reckon. It's not so much.
The last lap,
so don't destroy
through the corner.
Don't destroy the whole spectacle of the race for them to get their pole in first corner.
The problem
because it'll destroy the whole race.
It'll probably, if they could hold the buoy, it wouldn't be that bad because all their wash ends up your centre buoy because they're out wide. So they're in 5 and 6. When they're coming around, the wash ends up on the buoy. But if they stuck in 1 or 2, the wash ends up inside the buoys.
No, it doesn't. It just like the track's destroyed. As soon as that hydro's on the track, you do 2 corners.
You just got to be better than that. You got to put your boat in better positions. I've seen Crossy do it before.
I can't compare myself to that man.
You don't have to. Like he knows he was an excellent driver. But like what he was doing was pretty simple. He's just putting the boat in better positions on the track. Like after lap 1, don't hug the boys. You're hugging the boys right where all the shit is. Go around in lane 3, 4, 5, wherever the hydroplane's going around because there's no wash out there. Well, it's a lot smoother. You get a cleaner corner, better exit, better run down the straight. And you got to pick where you're running. You got to look for those kind of waves. You don't just drive into a corner and just go, oh, yeah, I'm going to turn up the buoy. Oh, shit, there's heaps of waves here. Oh, I stuffed that up. You just got to be a little bit smarter than that, which I don't think a lot of people are these days because, like we said the other week, not a lot of
experience.
Yeah, not a lot of experience going on. Not a lot of club days. There's not a lot of racing going on in general, to be honest, because it's quite expensive these days, and there's heaps of racing on. But it's quite expensive for everyone to go to all these race meetings. So people pick and choose, and people probably only race half a dozen times a year.
I think a lot of people don't do it for the love of it either.
Yeah, maybe.
Always want something to go somewhere.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely doing it for the love.
I mean, crew wise,
I enjoy the hell out of it.
Anyway, I'm not going to complain about the hydroplane drifting wide because I think I should be able to do that too.
Yeah, if we can do it, then
it's against the rules.
It doesn't matter.
I think I want to do it.
If there's going to be a rule there, you got to enforce it. But it'd rather than the rule not be there.
The other thing you could do is just let the boat go. If we're talking off the start straight, and so the hydroplane's in 1, the logboat's in 2, just let the hydroplane go, let him run wide, cut his wash and come up the inside, and then you're on the inside. Have a go down the next straight.
Yeah, but then you get done for changing lanes.
Well, you haven't. He did.
Yes, but depends.
You just
if
avoided
that's
the situation.
Depends if that's ruled.
You avoided being hit. It all comes down to the office of the day, whatever they want to do. Like I said, I don't envy those guys because if I did it, I'd have no friends.
Yeah. I hope that answers your question, Reese. And I'm sure you'll ring us after you listen and tell us how you felt.
Yeah.
Surprised he didn't want to be anonymous.
I heard he had another question, but he didn't put that one in.
Oh, well, maybe he might do that next week. We got any other listener questions, Hayden?
Yeah. So we've got Barry from Bankstown. Now, I call bullshit on that. I reckon that's an anonymous question again.
Barry from Bankstown. Righto, Barry.
So this is not a motorsport question. This is a bit of left field. It's a good one. They've asked if we mow our lawn just up and down or we do that cool crosshatch thing.
Mine's up and down.
I don't do either.
Mine's a cross, actually.
What do you do?
So after we received that, I tried to do the cool crosshatch thing on my lawn, and it doesn't look any friggin' different. I just probably mulched my grass a little bit more. That was about it.
I think the crosshatch thing, you've got to have like a really nice lawn to start with.
It's got to be Kikuyu or something.
Certain mowers that you got to do it with as well.
The roller.
You can't just use your normal.
Got to have a roller on the back of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it just lays the blades of grass over.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all it does.
Yeah.
But I don't do either. I don't do the crosshatch thing because my lawn's shit.
You do circles?
Even though my in-laws have a turf farm, my lawn's still shit. But yeah, I normally do the outside, the perimeter and then sort of slowly work my way.
You just do circles.
Pretty much. Well, squares. My yard,
Sort of squares,
my yard's
sort
not
of
a
circles.
circle.
Yeah, mine just.
Actually, my yard's a fucking triangle. It's a queer-shaped yard.
All I do is just mow the outside edge in a straight line, and then just do straight lines up and down, up and down.
Yeah, right. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong.
Straight up.
Maybe that's why my lawn's so shit, because I'd mow it in squares. All right. We want to move on to the next segment? No more questions?
No more questions.
All right. We're up to Cooper's quote. We got another quote from Cooper this week. So let's play that.
How did Pinocchio find out he wasn't a real boy? His right hand caught on fire. Stay safe, boys.
Nice one, Cooper.
I like not hearing them until they're on the show.
Brilliant.
That's really good. Thanks, Cooper.
That's the beauty of sending a voice recording through, guys. If you do something funny, we play it here live.
We don't screen the voice record.
No, we don't. We don't check that shit before it. So, pretty much whatever you say is going live.
Well done. Thank you very much, Cooper.
We'll get another one through next week if you can. Keep sending them through. We'll never get.
Don't get bored of that.
Nah. All right. Anything else, or we're going to wrap her up?
No, that's it, I think.
I'm happy to pack her up, boys.
Talking shit for long enough.
Wrap her up. All right. So remember to share and review the show wherever you're listening, however you listen. It helps us get better exposure and better people on. We can get better content and stuff. The more people that are involved. Also, like all the socials, the High Speed Garage, and also if you do have any listener questions, send them through. Hopefully, you've learnt a little bit from this episode and you voice record them, and you can send them through to the High Speed Garage Podcast @gmail.com. All right, thanks for that. Thanks for listening. See you next week.
See you later, guys.
See you later.